How are we doing? So today we're going to be talking about hooks and headlines. Obviously you've probably just seen the video on landing page structure. The most important thing, believe it or not, isn't website design. It isn't the aesthetics of a website. It's actually the words that we put on it. Words have been the most important thing for hundreds of thousands of years. Ever since the Bible was written, we're still doing things that the words in that book do to us today. And in other religions it's exactly the same. People follow these creeds by following the words that are written that are important to them, and it makes people do things. One of the biggest things is making sure that we don't speak about ourselves too much, about how good our company is, and we've been around for that many years. I'm going to show you this in some examples in a minute. But also we need to make it so the person understands exactly what it is we're talking about quickly, because a confused buyer is just going to walk away and they're not going to buy. And I see this quite a lot. So today we're just going to go over the hooks and headlines, same sort of thing. This is the thing that if it's on a page, then it's obviously going to make someone, they read that first, and then that qualifies the buyer to read the rest of your page through the sub-headline and then into the copy, etc., down through the page with all your sales copy to hopefully take action because they can see that you can fix their problem. We're just going to talk about the hooks and the headlines today, all right? So, same thing in a video. You need to be hooking someone in so they start watching, so they can understand it quickly. And it's a bit the same with an email. When we're reading an email, in email marketing or just in emails in general, if you open an email and think about how you're reading it, we scan it first to try and see whether it warrants our time to spend on it to actually read the rest of the information in it. So it's very important. So a strong hook headline must attack two things at the same time. You want to write this down. I'm going to give you some PDFs anyway that you can download, and you can follow this structure along anyway. So number one, the pain they're currently feeling. So what is it that your customer is struggling with that you can fix, basically? And then number two is the outcome that they desperately want. So you've got the pain, the problem that they have that you think you can fix, and then you've got to show them the outcome or speak about the outcome that the person will have, because we need to talk about that, so that hooks them in, all right? So I'll give you an example. Hang on, let me just move that around there. So the pain that they're currently in, if you've got someone that wants to, I'll just take marketing for instance, so the pain they're currently, so are you struggling without a current flow of customers or a constant flow of customers? Or are you wasting ad spend, or are you burning through ad spend? Or if it's a fitness one, it could be, are you struggling to lose weight? Read this report to lose weight in 12 weeks. If it's for marketing, it could be this. So read this free report if you're burning through ad spend and getting no customers. Learn in 12 weeks how to get 50% more conversions and a constant flow of leads to your business. So, number one, what a powerful hook needs. We need to call out the pain clearly, and here's a bad example. Struggling with marketing. It's very bland, I'm sure you would admit, right? Everyone could be struggling with marketing, but what is it that they're actually doing? And what is it the problem that they're struggling with? So a better one would be spending money on ads, but getting no sales. Now that's the pain equals emotional frustration and wasted time and effort. All right, that's what the pain is. So you've got that. So spending money on ads, but getting no sales. The pain is emotional frustration, wasted time and effort, all right? Number two, we need to agitate now the consequence. So we need to explain what happens if they don't fix it. So the hook's got them in, and now we need to emphasize on the problem, right? So burning ad spend every day, leads ghosting you, posting constantly but invisible. So these are all different things that can be presented within your sales copy, all right? And then you've got to present, obviously, the outcome. So these, what happens if they don't fix it? You're giving them more of a risk. Right? The risk is, and I always say this when I speak to someone on the phone, I'm like, well, if someone says to me, oh, it's a bit risky, I'm digressing a little bit, but they might say it's risky. I'll be like, well, what's the risk if you don't do something about it? Do you see what I mean? So we need to emphasise that in the copy. So burning ad spend every day, leads ghosting you, posting constantly, but no one's seeing you and you're not getting any likes. Loads of people can relate to that. Okay. Then what you've got to do is you've got to come down and you've got to present the outcome. Show them the relief. Here's how to fix it. Here's the structure that converts. Here's the system that turns clicks into clients. So for instance, you could be, if we go back, look, so if you take all of that, spending money on ads but getting no sales, right? Our Rev system gives you the structure that will convert more leads into sales. Do you see how I've positioned that or packaged it? Obviously, we've got a system called Revs. I'm just using that as an example. Okay, let's go to a different one. Let's go to a different one. I think I've done where are we? Right. Spending hours on end in the gym and getting nowhere. Right? So it's emotional frustration and wasted time. Then if we're going to see what happens if they don't fix it, wasted time, they're still going to feel not confident and they're still going to be overweight and feel sluggish, right? So then the outcome would be, here's how to fix it. Our 12-week program that you don't have to spend hours in the gym but still lose 3 stone in 12 weeks. See what I mean? It's the same sort of thing. I'm making this up on the fly, but you know, you would tweak that a little bit. So the formula that you can use for this, oh, it's messing up my thing there. The formula you can use is this. So simple formula you can use. The pain they feel and the desired outcome. All right? So some more examples here. All right? So getting leads but no sales, here's how to fix your follow-up. All right, traffic isn't the problem, your sales page is. Wasting ad spend, build this before you run ads. Oh, my spelling's wrong there. Yeah, build this before you run ads. And then you can just show them how to do it. It's really important that you think about some of the words that you use and don't just write anything that comes in your head. You really have to think of the emotional pain. And I always say to people, just look at what you do and how you react or what you react to, because 90% of people or 85% of our behaviours are the same, especially online. So you just got to model yourself. And I do think that people forget this a little bit. And I do think what we tend to do, what happens in real life happens online. And I think people get a disconnect between this quite a lot. So they'll think the actions that they take get disregarded in real life when they go to sell something online, which baffles me. So it's just about having a structure for things. Okay, so the real psychology of all of this, right? So you got to think, why are people are online anyway? So people scroll because they want to avoid pain. I don't mean they've got toothache. What I mean is they'll be scrolling online or whatever and they want to disconnect, or they just want 10 minutes to not think about maybe what's going on in the real world, or they want to gain status, money or confidence. This is the other thing, right? So this directly links to the Maslow hierarchy of needs. If you don't know what that is, it's a pyramid, if you like, and it gives us the needs of what are important to us in our life. The bottom one starts at like safety and shelter, or food and shelter, because if we can't eat and have somewhere to live, we don't feel safe. And then it starts moving up as you go. So if you're talking to someone that wants status, okay, which is the top of the pyramid, all right, talking about them about something that's psychology that's linked to not feeling secure and safe, probably isn't going to connect with them as much, because they've already gone through those parts of the Maslow hierarchy of needs, all right? It's quite important, this. I'm actually going to do a whole video on the Maslow hierarchy of needs and explain it in a bit more depth, because I've only just scratched the surface on it, and it is quite an important thing to think about when you're trying to speak to your ideal customer, okay? So just quickly then, your hook should make them think, that's me. So when they're scrolling, that headline should call them out. You know, an easy one's the dog whistle one. I always remember a great book. I saw at an airport once. It was read this if you want to take better photos. Like, it's just calling people out. You know, if you're in a bricks and mortar business and you live in a town, you could say people of Deal on Facebook, and it will call them out. If you're a male and from Deal, age between 24 and 25, or 24 and 35, you're calling the actual person out. So you need them to think that that's it, that's me. And then I need that, which is the next bit as it comes down. Okay, these are the two emotional triggers that you need someone to think of. So if you, just quickly, really important, and I really don't want to stress this, you want to write this down. If you only talk about yourself or your system, they will scroll past. You don't want to be talking about yourself, because they don't actually care about, you, they care about them. You've got to always put the emphasis on the person. There's a really good book actually by Donald Miller called The Brand Story, and there's some good books by Joseph Campbell, The Hero's Journey. Most films are all based around stories, and you've got to put your customer is going to be the centre of the story. That concludes the hooks and headlines lesson. I hope you took something from it, and I'll see you in the next video.